This is the HTC Amaze. It's a TELUS device, and it's got a 1.5 GHz third generation Snapdragon processor, 1 GB of RAM, 16 gigs of internal storage, and an 8 megapixel low aperture camera with 2 LED flashes and excellent low light results. It's got a single speaker at the back, a 1730 mAh battery, and a dual cell HSBA Plus baseband inside. It has 2 dedicated camera buttons, one for the camera and one for the camcorder. The volume rocker is the same shade of silver as the rest of the aluminum body, and it's got a very hardy, well-made design. The back cover comes off from the bottom with a clip. Just push it down and the entire back comes off. You'll see that there are antennas built into the back of the device that interact with these portions here, and it also has NFC built in for instant phone-to-phone or phone-to-tag communication. You can see that the design resembles a little bit of the HTC Sensation, as well as the MyTouch 4G Slide that was released last year or this past year for T-Mobile. It comes with HTC Sense 3.0 and Sense 3 running Android 2.3.4. Comes with Wi-Fi hotspot capabilities with a widget right on the front. It's got a beautiful design and a very nice screen with excellent viewing angles and color reproduction. And the screen actually comes out a little bit. The glass is a straight glass design, and the bezel actually comes down. So when we hit the end of the screen, you actually hit a bit of a bump here, and it's a bit uncomfortable. That's one of the design problems that we had with the HTC Amaze. Other than that, it's a very heavy device. It's 173 grams, but it feels very solid in the hand, and it's a great accompaniment to anybody who's into photography and somebody who's taking who wants to consolidate all of their gadgets into one. The quality of the camera is fantastic. It's one of HTC's biggest improvements to their line of phones since the latest version. You can see that from the off screen you can get to the camera right away just by holding down either the right button, or to get into the camcorder, the left button. Camera shots are instant, so I can take a shot, focus, and right away, and I can continue taking shots. Most of these settings are one touch enabled, so you have a magic wand on the bottom here, and you can scroll through it on the left hand side to give you such effects as panorama, HDR, and burst. There are custom settings such as exposure, contrast, saturation, and sharpness, and in addition to that, there are scenes that you can alter for portrait, landscape, action, and macro. Shots are really good in low light, much better than the equivalent HTC Sensation. First, you can see the Amaze has been shooting the same scene as the Sensation below, and the first is with a flash turned on, the second with the flash turned off. You can see that the quality of the low light shots are much better. In addition, the flash takes more accurate photos, although we found that it oversaturates the scene just a little bit. Overall, the Sensation is definitely the precursor here. You can see it takes a lot of the same design sensibilities. It is a little bit, the Amaze is a little bit thicker owing to the dedicated buttons and the larger battery. It is much faster with that 1.5 GHz processor, and you can see that viewing angles are much improved over the Sensation as well, and maximum brightness has been improved too. This is definitely an upgrade to anybody who's coming from a previous generation HTC device. You have your HTC Watch, which comes with hundreds and thousands of videos that you can rent or purchase. Movies such as Horrible Bosses can be purchased for $19.99, Green Lantern can be rented for $4.99, and that gives you 48 hours to watch once you've started and 30 days from beginning to end. Content is a little bit lackluster given the fact that HTC does not have their own music store. That is launching in their next generation with Sense 4.0. There is no bloatware loaded preloaded on this device. This is the retail version, and you can see it has basically nothing. NFC is available for this device. It's very similar to the Samsung Galaxy S2X. You can see that you have NFC loaded here. You also have your TELUS your TELUS carrier over there. Because this is a dual cell HSBA Plus device, it supports 42 megabits a second in the down, and you can see the speeds are not quite as good as we had on the LTE HTC Raider, but are certainly nothing to snuff at. Yet low ping times and decent down and upload throughput, though we'd like to see a bit more consistency between it, as we've gotten upwards of 10 megabits a second in the downlink and as low as 25, sometimes even less, 2500 kilobits in the uplink, in the downlink. And you can see in the uplink here, it's also not quite as reliable as LTE. Benchmark-wise, we have one of the kind of middle-range Android processors in here. The Adreno 220 GPU performs decently well compared to its current generation, but certainly not as high as the Exynos on the Galaxy S2 with its Mali 400 GPU, and that's definitely one of the downsides to running an HTC device right now. Is the Snapdragon generation is a little bit behind, especially with TI OMAP being releasing their 4470 system in the next few months, as well as the Tegra 3 quad-core chip being released by NVIDIA soon. So Samsung is also ahead right now with its Exynos, and it's releasing a new one. You can see the scores here. Our scores were 8,049 in the productivity and 2,085 in the games, and you can see as well it doesn't quite compete with the top of the line products there. If we scroll down a little bit, you can see that it comes pretty much in line with some of the older devices, such as the Atrix, which still it bests the Atrix in productivity, but it still loses to the Atrix in games, and that's owing to the underwhelming GPU. So we have an excellent device, very good screen quality, excellent build, a little bit heavy, a little bit thick, but it's a power horse, and it definitely does the job. Battery life we found to be a little bit lackluster, especially if you're doing a lot of downloading. We found that it lasts just a bit less than a full day. We've been using this on and off all day, and we have decent battery life, but it's certainly not the greatest. So we have a day here of barely using it at all, and it's just under 50% finished. That being said, Android's not known for its good battery life, and this one does impress us with its overall performance. If you want to see the speeds at which it loads web pages over the HSBA Plus network, you can see there pages load quite quickly. And you can see that it changes from portrait to landscape equally quickly. Pinch to zoom is quite fluid, and scrolling also. One of the nice features here on this HTC Amaze, and something that we haven't found out, that we didn't know about until recently, was in the Gallery app. If you scroll quickly back and forth, you get this preview pane here that allows you to see all your photos very quickly, and that's something that we believe has been implemented recently in Sense 3.0. The capacitive touch buttons on the bottom don't actually light up, and that's a difference to the HTC Sensation. Overall, I think that this is a big improvement over any previous TELUS device. If you're up in the air about whether to get this or the Galaxy S2X, honestly, I'd recommend this one, if only for the fact that it has a better screen and sharper text and better reading angles. Okay, thanks so much for watching.